This is the Squared Circle. We're talking pro wrestling. We got a half an hour, so let's get right to it. There's a lot to talk about. I'm Justin Greenberg alongside Dominic Arbolino and Joe Ritter.
What's up?
Hello. And let's start off with the Moolah Battle Royal. Oh, wait. Let's not, because it's not going to be called that anymore.
The Women's WrestleMania Battle Royal.
Yeah, Women's WrestleMania Battle Royal.
And, it's bound to happen because... Moolah, she had a bad past. She's done some, bad things. But whatever. I kind of wish the name stayed. But whatever, it is what it is.
Think anybody else should have got it?
Yeah, China.
Yeah.
That's who I think
and
should.
You could have had the 8th Wonder of the World, Andre the Giant Battle Royal, Memorial Battle Royale, and the 9th Wonder of the World, the China Battle the Memorial Battle Royale.
You're right there?
I've been awake too long. I had a midterm. I'm broken today. Broken Matt.
Delete.
Yeah. Final deletion tonight. I am excited to see this.
Yes.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
But, all right, so nothing else really added on the Moolah Battle Royal.
They took it away. And the only thing is that they're fighting between Trish Stratus and Beth Phoenix, apparently.
I don't think they should make it
two
anything.
names that they might change it to. If not one of those two, they'll just leave it as is until next year.
I think they should leave it as is for now. I feel like there's too much controvery with it already where you should just leave it the way it is.
I personally think they should have no name, just like you said. And Trish Stratus, she's a relatively new legend. She's only like 40 years old.
Yeah,
how is she going to have a battle royal named after her?
A memorial battle royal.
She's hot.
Yeah, well, whatever. and Beth Phoenix, she was only in the company for like 4 or 5 years that I can remember.
Yeah.
She really wasn't, relevant at all. You can't name a battle royal after her. Just either name it nothing or name it the China one.
Yeah.
Or there's other legends, Sensational Sherry. She was a pretty big name back in the day. But I think we agree it should just be called the Women's Battle Royal.
For now
that they can't use Moolah.
Until they get over, what's her name? China. Until they get over that whole thing that happened, just name it. Just name it China.
All right, let's talk about quickly Mark Henry. He's
Sexual chocolate.
The newest induction into the WWE Hall of Fame that was officially announced today. They'll announce it today on Raw.
I'm excited.
Mark Henry. So to give a brief background on his career, this guy was signed to a gigantic contract back in 1996, and he was a dud. He, was either injured or injuring other people or completely out of shape. He really didn't get the ball rolling on his career until a few years after 96 when he joined the Nation of Domination in the mid-1998. But I think the real great run of his career was when he did this Hall of Pain gimmick. And the genesis of that, I want to say, is when he faked his retirement. And John Cena came out, and then he body slammed John Cena, gave him the world's strongest slam, and he had actually a run at the world title, which nobody would have thought happened.
Yeah.
Because, he, like I said, he really started off very slowly, but he's been around the company for over 20 years, and, he definitely deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Comments, guys?
Mark Henry, I actually really enjoyed watching him when I did, and, maybe he's not the world's strongest man anymore, but... in my heart, he is.
Yeah. For a time, he was legitimately the world's strongest man.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he won competitions for that. He was in the Olympics in 1996, and he bombed. I feel like he finished 8th or 9th place for weightlifting. But they did invitationals to test strength, and he was legitimately, he had world records for strength. It's unfortunate his career has come to an end. He didn't really have any big WrestleMania moments. His biggest one would be WrestleMania 22 when he took on The Undertaker.
Yeah.
But in a casket match. But besides that, he never really had that singles WrestleMania match. But, definitely a well-deserved Hall of Fame member. Do you think there's anyone else that gets inducted into the Hall of Fame this year, or is this the end of the class?
It's already pretty jam-packed, to be honest. There's a decent amount of people there.
There was one more name that they were considering, apparently. Bam Bam Bigelow.
Oh! I would love Bam Bam Bigelow.
They were saying that they might squeak him in on the card, but they're not sure.
Yeah, well, the thing is, usually with the WWE Hall of Fame, and I'm just going to say this, they usually have one African-American, and they usually have one woman. It's just what they do. And they usually have one dead guy. And for this announced class, they have nobody that's been deceased. And Bam Bam Bigelow, unfortunately, passed away maybe 10 years ago. I would love to see Bam Bam get in. He was a guy Dom and Joe, you guys are sports fans. He fought Lawrence Taylor, LT, at WrestleMania 11 in the main event. So he was a big-time name. He was a former ECW world champion. He, could have been bigger than what he was. A lot of backstage politics did hold him back, but Bam Bam Bigelow, solid performer. He was actually in a few movies, including Major Pain and Ready to Rumble. But I would like to see Bam Bam definitely get in. Any dead guys or anybody else that you would want to see get in?
Right now, I can't think of anybody.
Nobody off the top of your head?
No, not off the top of my head.
I mean, it's hard to say who you'd want to be put into the Hall of Fame, because once you put a name out there, it's kind of like, well, what did they really do? Because it's all subjective,
Yeah, I mean, this is not a real Hall of Fame. Let's just
no, of course, it's not a legit one. It's WWE's thing, which, it entirely depends on who and who's coming to the end of their career. I honestly think that the second that Chris Jericho decides to retire, that guy should be put in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, of course.
As soon as he says I'm done, he should be in that Hall of Fame.
Well, what's rumored
within a year?
What's rumored right now for at least next year's Hall of Fame, which would be pretty cool because at least WrestleMania is in New York, so you'll be able to see it if you go. The Undertaker's rumored for next year because if this is his final match, assuming that he would win it, and then
but it's not. He's going to be at the greatest Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia.
Okay, well, I feel like that's an exception. That's also a really stupid idea. I don't understand the purpose, and it's also then what did Shinsuke win?
No, well, you know what it is? That is actually, I think that's actually not going to play into story much at all, because the idea of that is that...
I hope so.
Just real quick, getting deep on wrestling show, the country of Saudi Arabia is coming a very long way in modernizing and coming into the modern world, and for whatever reason, they love WWE. They love wrestling. So, the women wrestling there for the first time.
Yeah.
That was huge for our country that is encapsulated by the sport or the sports entertainment, whatever you want to call it. They are in on wrestling, and they want to use wrestling as a way to break into the modern world.
All right, as long as it doesn't really have to do with any storylines, that I guess I'm okay with it, because I don't know really how they're going to throw that in there. That's so I never really understood the purpose of it. But if it's for just who
knows? They might be able to tie it into a story similar where give someone a chance at challenging for SummerSlam, maybe, or
I don't know,
something. You never know. I guess
we'll
or
have
it could
to
be
wait
nothing.
And see until
right when it gets closer. When it gets closer to coming.
Yeah, I mean, I never really thought of it actually being part of a storyline. I just thought of it kind of as a house show, but they're going to broadcast it.
Okay.
But we'll see. I don't know what's going to be on the line. Maybe it's just, you get to be crowned the champion of Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, it'll just be like a yearly thing.
Yeah, so I think that's what they'll go for it. Or maybe, like Joe said, maybe they'll you get a title shot at SummerSlam. I'm not a fan of having 2 Royal Rumbles because I think that takes it away. You don't want to have ice cream every day because then you won't like ice cream. You can't have 2 Royal Rumbles. Quickly, let's go over the MSG house show that me and Joe went to. I mean, nothing really stood out as far as show-stealing matches, but I think the card was solid. I love just seeing wrestling live, and no better venue really to see that than Madison Square Garden.
Oh, you know what? I just thought of somebody my dad just texted me, a great person you could put in the Hall of Fame, King Kong Bundy.
King Kong Bundy, but still alive King Kong Bundy. But I would love to see him get in.
Just because he's alive, he can't get in this.
No, we need a dead guy, Mr. Ritter.
But would be a great person to put in the Hall of Fame.
Yes, and I'm
surprised he isn't in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I mean, again, he had a lot of beef with McMahon.
Who doesn't?
But, fun fact, they actually named Al Bundy after King Kong Bundy. People thought it was Ted Bundy, the serial killer, but the Bundys got their name from professional wrestler King Kong Bundy. And nobody knows what I'm talking about, but there was a show called Married with Children with the character Al Bundy. So Mr. Ritter definitely knows. MSG house show, me, Joe, and Drew went...
Gulak.
No, Drew... what's his last name? McLaughlin?
Yeah.
We were there, and it was fun. Nothing really stood out.
One thing, actually, in retrospect now, so the first match of the night, which is kind of a bummer, I mean, great match, but kind of a bummer was the first match, was AJ Styles and AJ Styles, Nakamura, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn.
And a tag team match.
Before the match even started, Owens and Zayn, classic, comes right through the crowd at MSG and beats the living hell out of Owens or not Owens. Oh my God,
AJ,
I'm losing my mind.
AJ,
no, just AJ.
Okay,
just AJ. And they were just beating on his leg. and he walked out limping.
I don't. It's a.
Right now, the rumor is that he might have been injured training, and that this was a way for them to keep him out of the limelight while also giving him appearances.
I don't think he's hurt at all, to be honest with you.
I don't think so either, but he was actually scrapped from 2 other house shows that he was supposed to make appearances at that he did not.
I still think it's part of the script.
I think it's part of the script because wrestling works that kind of a way, but you never know with these kind of guys.
Of course.
He could have tweaked something in his knee, and they're just like, all right,
not
we don't
risking it.
Right, let's not get him hurt. We're 3 weeks from Mania.
I don't know if it's anything in the script because it wasn't written on TV. Right? There was nothing. He wasn't dealing with the injury, so I think, like Joe said, maybe he, tweaked something. It's nothing horrible, but they just attacked his leg because maybe he tore something in his shoulder or something,
right?
And they're just trying to keep him off, keep him rested. I mean, the guy's been wrestling for almost 20 years straight.
And plus, the old school, they'll break his left leg, but his right leg is the real one giving him problems, and no one really pays attention to it.
Yeah.
You just see a guy's leg get busted up, and you're like, oh, his leg's a mess. Look, he's limping. When in reality, the other leg is the one that's the problem.
But that was disappointing because I really wanted to see AJ wrestle, but that was a great match. The women put on a really good triple threat match. I think the highlight, though, was John Cena and Nikki Bella taking on Elias and Sonya Deville.
Yeah.
The crowd was so into this. Say what you will about John Cena, but nobody evokes the emotion of the WWE Universe quite like John Cena.
That's true.
And, you just hear the difference. And the other guy who got a real big pop was Braun and Brock.
And Rusev.
Rusev was getting some chance there. Unfortunately, he wasn't there. But Brock, he got a big ovation, as did Cena, were the 2 biggest pops of the night. And of course, we knew Cena and Bella would get the victory. Of course, Brock got the victory. Any title that was on the line, we knew that we weren't going to have a title change.
No.
At a house show.
The same time, though, remember, AJ Styles did beat Kevin Owens at MSG for the United States Championship.
Yes,
I understand that most of the time you're going to think, but there is that really small slight chance. Because that was the first time it happened, I believe.
And also, you got to remember too that AJ Styles won his title back on a pre-recorded show in England.
Yeah, well, that was the WWE title.
Yeah. Oh, what title are you talking about?
I was the United States.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, it's still the same point, though, that, they'll do it sometimes when it's recorded or on a house show. It's the same.
Or a house show, they can have someone win a title just to see what's the reaction in the crowd, and the next house show, they'll just give it back to the guy.
Yeah, they can do that. But,
it's a house show. You never know.
I didn't see any of that happening just because WrestleMania is only a few weeks away.
Course,
They're not going to switch the tag titles and have it, go to the New Day for no reason.
Plus, which was interesting because, just real quick on New Day, is that they had a 4 or 5-way tag team? It was 4-way tag team match between who was it?
Sheamus and Cesaro,
Titus Worldwide, the other guys, Gallows and Anderson, and the New Day.
Why weren't the Revival there?
But my question is, why would you put the New Day with all Raw tag teams?
Because they're just trying. Because it's a house show, and I think they're trying to make it as entertaining as it could be.
Or put on your tinfoil hats.
Oh my God!
No.
Maybe they'll throw them on Raw.
No, not right now.
Not yet. If anything, it'll be during the Superstar.
No, we already know what's happening for the Raw tag team titles, and it's Braun. It's rumored right now. Slice actually just tweeted it like 7 minutes ago. They're going either with Elias.
Slice.
They're either going to be Elias as a tag team partner, or they're simply just going to have a handicap match. And Braun is going to have both championships. He's going to break that barrier. And I'm going to be honest, I love that idea because it's Braun Strowman. Listen, he doesn't care, and he destroys it. Justin, I understand you're giving your little face. All right, but sorry, it's not like old times. This is a new change.
No, this is bad.
I like it.
I'll tell you why it's bad, because it's ruining the tag team division. Yep. Of course, the Raw tag team division.
Well, they suck.
It's terrible, but not Sheamus and Cesaro.
Those guys are great.
Yeah, they'll have them break up after. I don't know.
I hope not. They are so good together.
It just makes the whole division look weak if one guy could beat 2 guys.
Well, I mean, it probably could.
No, but honestly, though, these 2 guys have been so good right now with the way they perform in the ring, and even their promos have been pretty good.
Braun and Elias going together would be pretty dumb.
It makes no sense.
The Woken Hardys is definitely not happening, especially with Jeff.
Yeah. And we don't know, depending on what happens tonight.
I don't think so. I think having Braun come out there and winning that Battle Royal with the tag teams was simple enough that it's definitely going to be Braun either with someone or alone. So
Maybe he'll team up, I was thinking, maybe with somebody who's a jabroni, maybe a James Ellsworth. He's like, I could win it with anyone. And he picks out like James Ellsworth.
Well, James Ellsworth was released.
I know, but they can always bring him back.
Or Swoogle, who will be at Nassau soon.
Swoggle.
One thing real quick, though, your guy Slice, all-knowing,